is it. It's a Buffalo Joe.
Yeah, but like, what? Isn't this kind of like baiting a guy? Like,
It is. It is entirely. It's entirely baiting. They want him to react, and when you're sober, you realize what's going on, so you don't react. And they want him to do it. He wants him to say Kayla. He wants him to do it so that they could throw the bad man in jail. But at this point, I guarantee you the prosecutor has been seeing this stuff, and it's not going to happen. But Aaron still needs to keep it cool. He still needs to keep cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
but that means Nick is going to go harder and harder and harder, and eventually it's just going to explode.
It feels like it already has. Like, but
it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse, guys.
Tipping point, aren't we?
We're at that tipping point, but he stepped into the minefield, and now he's going to start just jumping on random spots.
So
and it's only going to get worse.
So as I understand it, if Aaron goes to jail, all the charges against Nick are dropped, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. No, it wouldn't do anything.
Well, but the Kiwi farms will be shut down at least.
Yeah.
If Aaron goes
Yes. No, the farms will get shut down. I will probably go to jail too.
The casino will have to close.
I'll have to convert to Islam while I'm in jail. You guys, Trudeau's gonna put you in maid.
Yep.
Like you're never coming back.
Actually, we might get apprehended on some bullshit charge in this. I mean, who knows? But I'm not really understanding. Like, is it worth it to get this revenge on Aaron at the expense of everything else? It just doesn't seem to make sense. Like,
no, and that's why I tried to warn Nick. I said, you're not helping your wife's case.
Let me say,
you are not helping anything.
As a former cokehead, okay, this is honestly very typical of self-destructive. You think you're invincible. You don't think of consequences. You don't think of the law, right? In his mind, we say it doesn't make sense, right? In his mind, it makes full sense. He knows what's happening. He's got every step of the way. Oh no, this is trust me. That's what people. I've been around people who do drugs. I did it myself. Very typical for them to believe in something that's clearly risky and will ruin your entire life. Be put in jail and shit. So it's manic cokehead behavior. This is what we're seeing right now. It's wild.
I do have a question for you, Andy. And by the way, congrats on keep on keeping on.
Thank you, man. 1 year and a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's not easy. So I congratulate you on that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, dude.
When you're at this stage, because I've asked clients like this before, different types of addictions. And some of them have said yes, but a lot of them said no. They don't feel like they're thinking this way. Do you think Nick is seeing this like he thinks he's like in the Matrix and he's just seeing all the code everywhere? Like he's like,
yeah,
I'm totally
100%.
Okay.
He is literally in his mind. We're the ones who are out of it. We're the crazy ones. We're the ones who don't understand it. There are some points, man, when you're on drugs like that, there are things that make no sense. That you're like looking at someone else like, what are you talking about? Like, don't you see what I'm showing you? And they're like, you're crazy. Then when you sober up, you go, what the fuck was I even thinking? That makes no sense. Like, it literally, you create your own reality. And it's like almost like being crazy. It's just being crazy when you're on. And then the amount of drugs that he's on, it's like
well, that's what I mean. It's so bad. Like I'm struggling to think of clients and people I've dealt with where they've had this level of, psychosis, and I'm really struggling because this is a whole other level.
Sean, I gotta ask, like, isn't he supposed to be sober? Like, isn't the state checking in on him for his?
I'm sure they're gonna be. I'm sure that Children's Services has been checking in on him, and I'm sure they're gonna notice all of this, and they're gonna notice something fucked up is going on. Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna take notice of this. And I'm sure part of the Children's Services case was April can't be around the kids. You can't be associating with April. April's got to stay away, and it looks like that's not happening. April's been to the house. Like, I'm sure that's going to be a problem for them going forward.
But I was assured by Lord Baldo that all of the, CPS stuff had been resolved.
If it was done, he'd be able to show us a journal entry from the court saying the case is over. There's a reason why
I thought it was all debunked.
Oh no, and they let Alicia sweep out handcuffs too. Yeah, I know that happened.
Yeah, well, but this is like he accuses everybody involved. Like he's accused Alicia Sweep, he's accused Jim Felt of lying, and it's like
Jim Felt, thank you for your service, by the way,
man.
on your retirement.
Jim Felt with his retirement, but Feltonings continues somehow. Is how it's really goes. Go ahead, though.
No, I will say though, and I know I mentioned this before on Twitter. I do want to just confess to you guys. Detective Pomplin and I did plant the cocaine inside the house.
Oh, yeah.
I want you guys to have the big info here. It is our fault.
Hey, Sean, before we let you go, could I just get your reaction to this? I know you saw it, 100% you saw this, but let's just watch you watch it with us. Alright, here's Ethan Ralph threatening you. And then a few seconds later, Karma bites him in the ass. Did you see this?
Yes, I've seen it. I've also seen his other tweets today.
This is probably the funniest thing ever.
This. I just tagged LawTube Sean, the fat fucker, and I said, your fat ass is next. Okay, we want to start cases on everybody for internet bullshit? Okay, alright, you know. If that's the way you got...
Pedal wheels into the mirror and swallow squad. It'll never get old, will it?
It won't. I don't know what I did to you, Ralph. I don't know what I did to you, man.
What was mad about? I edited the whole stream, but I couldn't pick up what he was mad about. Like,
I think he thinks I had something to do with it.
like what?
That, like, reporting him to the courts or something.
Oh,
I think
he blamed
I
you
think
and
he
me.
thinks I had something to do with it.
I didn't do shit. I didn't even talk to him for like fucking 3 months or since his last bill stream.
Why does he think that you have something to do with it? Like, what's going on in his
Because I've talked to Aaron, I guess. I don't know. It's somebody to point at, I guess. I don't know. It's the first person he could point at there. It's like, I mean, and besides, I'm okay because I watched a stream of a restream of Ralph's stream, so it's like, I don't know my problem.
You're always looking at like other people like to blame.
Yeah.
It's like, have you ever thought about putting down the bottle first, or like getting off the drugs before you blame some guy in Ohio that has nothing to do with nothing? Like,
And you're so chill, by the way.